How's it going, Kittanning? It's been a few weeks since I've been on Sunday night. Been away for good reason, but mostly I was trying to get some extra rest, and then I had a death in the family last week. Those of you that saw that post here on YouTube, um, it's been a pretty kind of down week in that way for me, just emotionally. But I'll get into that in just a minute. We'll see who jumps on here tonight, and then we will get right into it. Probably going to be a short one tonight. I have more of an update video that's already filmed. I just need to actually edit and upload it. Hopefully, that'll happen here in the next couple days. I'm going away for a little bit this week, so it may still be like an odd upload schedule, but there's a lot of good stuff happening right now. So do want to detail that a little bit for you as well. Um, yeah, let me pull up the video, make sure everything is good. I don't know if anyone's going to jump on tonight. I know anytime I've taken some time off in the past, it kind of like is no longer a habit. So we'll see if anyone else is going to join us. But bear with me just a minute, and then I will get into it. Let's see if my YouTube will work properly here. Maybe not. Okay, there it goes finally. I'm going to share this on social media as well. Okay. All right. Oh, we do have a few people showing up. Very good. Let me know that you're here in the comments if you get a chance. I'd love to mention you directly. I'm doing kind of the old school version here. I have no like special graphics on the screen or anything like that here. We have Chase Lundy's in the house. Summer's here. Good to see you. Um, Chase Lundy says, "I have. It just so happens that I have a calendar with your face on it and a clip that would hold a chip bag closed." Well, that's fantastic. So I'm assuming you have something from my State Farm office, which is very good. If any of you need a calendar, I have just a handful of them left. They came really late this year, so I didn't order as many. But that's really cool. Thanks for showing up, you guys. Really appreciate it. Um, so let me just explain where I've been over the last couple weeks. So our church every year we do this thing called the Daniel fast. If you've been watching any of the videos, it's a vegan fast, and so vegan fast minus yeast. So no dairy, no meat, no bread, no processed foods. So I really took that time trying to just seek the face of God in what we are to do for this year. And I've been focusing pretty heavily on the book of Acts and kind of going through that in detail. So I spent a lot of time doing that, less time making videos, more time getting organized on different things that are happening in our community projects. So we're trying to get organized with things like raising money for Hope Center, getting the community garden off the ground in a systematic way. Finding leaders for some of these different projects that we're working on. Um, the mural project, I'm trying to line up uh, different appointments, different meetings to try to make some of these things move forward. Excuse me. So spent a lot of time doing that. Beyond that, then spent a lot of time like right after we started the Daniel fast. My grandfather got sick with COVID, both my grandfather and grandmother. My understanding was they were both getting better pretty quickly. And then all of a sudden, my grandfather just didn't get better. He started to get worse and high fevers, and pretty soon he was coughing up blood and decided to go get checked out at the ER. Um, my grandmother uh, took him and dropped him off, and they said they didn't even really say goodbye to each other. She just thought he was going to go get checked out and everything would be okay. And then he shortly after was put on a ventilator, and a week later passed away. And so that was last Saturday. It's been a little over a week at this point. I'm making a video about my grandfather, one I've had on the books planned for 3 years, and I've just never filmed it and never edited it. But I'm going to get that done. I don't know how much longer it'll take. It's kind of like a huge mental roadblock for me because I want it to be just so. But I probably just need to just do it and get it kind of out of my head. And I think it'll be therapeutic for me as well. But my grandfather was my hero. He was a legend to me. So um, it's just been hard. So that's where I was last week. I just wasn't feeling up to it on Sunday night. And maybe in some ways I'm still not feeling up to it now. But at the same time, life does press forward. It's always moving. I'm trying to be just patient with myself, patient with my own emotions about the whole thing. I've had difficult things happen and struggled through a lot of different things, but at the same token, I've never really had to deal a lot with death in my life. I've been very fortunate in that respect. That being said, as a pastor, I've been on the forefront of a lot of people's worst case scenario when it comes to death. Stories that I'm not even going to get into now, but things that really nobody would ever voluntarily be a part of. It's just not fun situations, and preaching funerals has always been my least favorite thing to do. And at the same token, it's been some of the most blessed days in my, I guess I don't call it a career in ministry or whatever, but opportunities that I've had in ministry have been some of the most incredible days. I have a couple friends that have passed away in the past several years, and to preach their funerals was incredibly therapeutic for me. And when people have a genuine relationship with God, it completely changes the situation, and it becomes mourning, but at the same time, it's a celebration of life. And so, I don't know. My grandfather's last few years, I haven't been able. I got to spend some time with them, and I did get to make a video with both of them on their 60th wedding anniversary 2 years ago, which was fantastic. I'm so happy that I have that on video. But at the same token, obviously I wasn't as close to them now as I was when I was, say, in high school or as a child. So it's just hard. You always kind of second guess. Did I spend enough time? Did I do the right thing? And I'm rambling now, but I guess that's okay. So anyways, had all that going on, but nothing else has stopped. I never stopped working on things, and still been at the office consistently, all that kind of stuff. But it's just one of those things that kind of always hanging over your head. So that's where all that's at. This week, like I said, I'm going to be doing a little bit of traveling at some point this week, and then I'll be full speed ahead when we come back. Also, kind of reopened the Vandergrift project, so working on hopefully getting a group started there that, my prayer is that it would turn into a church, and that it would turn into a group of people that want to serve in the community in a similar fashion to what Living Water is. And so it's very exciting times, but when you have something like that kind of hanging over you, like the bursting excitement that would normally be part of my life is a little bit dampened at this point in time. I know that will pass with the passage of time. Like I said, I've counseled a lot of people through that process. I've seen it happen over and over and over again. I know the right things to tell myself, but at the same token, it's still just something you have to walk through. It's just one of those things. It's part of life, and just is what it is. Summer says, I think it's a normal reaction to second guess. Yeah, it definitely is. Like I said, I've counseled people through that over and over again, and I have some standard lines that I tell people at the end of every funeral that I preach. And one of those things is that we can always count on the fact that God is always good, God is always just, and God is always fair. Every single person will get what they deserve based on the life that they lived, based on the relationship they had with Jesus Christ. Every single person is guaranteed the fairness of God. That doesn't mean that it's going to be a good outcome or a bad outcome, but that means it's going to be the right outcome. God gets it right every single time, and we can have complete and total confidence in that fact. The other thing I always tell people is that there is not a single thing that we could have done differently to change the outcome of what happened. And so um, that is comforting to me in those moments where I do second guess, and should I have made more phone calls, and should I have done X, Y, and Z, and maybe I should have, maybe I shouldn't have, but the fact is that whatever happened happened, and we're here at this moment due to the perfect will and the perfect plan of God. And these things happen because we live in a world that's still full of sin. So there is pain and suffering in this life, but the great news is that that doesn't have to be there for eternity. Right now we are in a situation where we are marching towards the end of time, and when end of time comes, whether that be through our natural death or whether that be through the return of Jesus, one way or the other, eternity is coming very quickly for each and every one of us. So I launched into a sermon today, and I didn't get to preach this morning. We had Ross preached at our church, which is always fun. I really enjoy listening to him. He was preaching out of Ephesians chapter 5. And I was going to give just a brief summary of that before I go, and so I guess I'll just do that now. But he was talking about the manner, Paul was talking in Ephesians about the manner in which we should walk, and then Ross broke it down into 3 ways in which we should walk. And the first one is that we should walk in love. We have to take each day and do our best to love the world around us in the way that Jesus loved us. And that can be hard sometimes, but it is something to strive for. And so I don't know what your last few weeks have been like, or what the start of 2021 has been like, or what the last 13 months have been like with all the chaos and confusion that's in the world around us. It's easy to lose our love when we see the political animosity that we have, the animosity about how to deal with COVID, the job losses, the death in family members, all of these different things kind of stacking one on top of the other. So it might be just time to refocus, to refresh yourself, and to remember that we are to walk in God's love every single day. Jesus calls us to that. That's who we're supposed to be as believers. The second one is to walk in the light. And so walking in light is the opposite of walking in darkness. It's just this fact that we need to walk with the truth of God at the forefront of our minds. We should be doing the right thing. And a lot that goes hand in hand with walking in love, right? If we're walking in love, that means that we're going to be doing the right thing in the way that we treat other people. We're going to be doing the right thing in all of these different manners. And so, but it's something that we still have to be reminded of, is to, live your life in a way that would be pleasing to God. The last one is to walk in wisdom. And certainly if we're walking in love and we're walking in light, then we're going to be walking in wisdom. But wisdom is the ability to make the right decision in the right situation. And so we can have people will often confuse the intelligence with wisdom, but intelligence isn't always wisdom. There's a lot of people that you know people, I'm sure, that are very book smart, but they don't have a lick of common sense. And so those people have intelligence, but they don't really have wisdom. And to me, I always think about like intelligence is knowledge properly applied, or sorry, wisdom is knowledge properly applied, or intelligence properly applied. So it's not only knowing the right thing to do, but knowing the right time to do it as well. And so I pray that as you're moving forward, that you're being wise with your words, you're being wise with your thoughts, what you're allowing to enter into your mind, and that you're being wise with your actions. And so that's just a call from Ross today, straight out of the beginning of Ephesians 5. And so I hope that's encouraging to you. If you want to listen to the whole sermon, you can go check it out on Living Waters page. I believe at the bottom, yeah, we still have it on there. So at the bottom of this page, there's a link to our church website. So if you ever want to go on there, you can find our church YouTube channel, all that kind of stuff. And you can, you can find them on Facebook as well. You'll find them on Facebook first, and then normally by the middle of the week, we have it up on YouTube as well. So if you want to go check that out, certainly that's always available to you. Other than that, the other thing that I've been up to is checking out alternative sources of social media. So if you guys have not tried out MeWe yet, I would totally suggest that you do. It's a social media platform that is basically, it's very similar to Facebook. It's a true social network. But the really cool thing about it is there are no advertisements on it, and your news feed is not manipulated by the algorithm. So you get a news feed that is like straight up what you selected. So it's the post from your friends, the post from the groups that you're in. And I really like the layout, especially on mobile. So if you download it on mobile, it has a nice layout, and the groups feature and the chat features are very robust and very nice. So if you can search groups easily, you can find groups that fit what you're looking for, things that you'd want to see in your news feed. So if you're into cars, or you're into history, or for me, like I have a lot of homesteading, permaculture, garden groups that I joined right away. And so my news feed is full of things that I actually want to see, and the things from my friends that I want to see. It's not what Facebook decides is the most relevant thing for me. My newsfeed isn't packed with ads, and my newsfeed isn't packed with like news articles and corrections of fact checkers and like all the different things that really annoy me about Facebook. And things that I want to see aren't buried. I don't have to like go and check out my friends' pages in order to actually see what they're up to, because it gets buried underneath all of the drama that Facebook wants to show me, because it feeds emotion more. So I would definitely suggest finding, if you go on MeWe, try it out. It's just MEWE. Go make a profile, find me on there. And you can go through my friends list if we know a lot of the same people, and hopefully you'll find a bunch of contacts and go join some groups. The other feature that I really like I guess two more features of groups. There's like a group tab, and so when you go on the group tab, you can easily check out on the top all the different posts that the different groups have made throughout the day. So if you just wanted to go check out garden stuff, you can go click on the garden group. You'll see all the new posts that were on there that day. You X out of it, and like you're caught up like immediately. So if you want to really target the things you want to see, it's really good in that way as well. And then every group has a chat that's like a group chat for the entire group. And so you can ask quick questions on there. You can get references. You can catch up on the conversations really easily. And it's really nice. I'm really liking it. So I wish more people from Facebook were on there, but I'm like over 100 people on MeWe at this point, and almost all of them are people that have come over from Facebook that are personal friends of mine. But I have like 1,800 friends on Facebook or something. So obviously it's far short of what Facebook is at this point. But if you guys join, we'll be one step closer to kind of slaying the Facebook dragon. The other social media that I've been trying out is Odyssey, which is a direct competitor with YouTube. So it's kind of weird that I'm on YouTube right now speaking against YouTube. but I actually don't have major problems with YouTube. But Odyssey was something that really intrigued me. So it's a platform that's built on top of, um, sorry, I'm losing the name. It's built on top of blockchain. So they basically built a YouTube on top of blockchain. So they have like kind of their own monetary system on there. So when you go on and watch videos, you can actually earn their currency, and then you can use that currency to either just save up and cash out later, or you can use the currency to tip other YouTubers when you're on there, or I say YouTubers, or other content creators. So if you went on there and you got 7 of the coins or whatever, and then you saw a video of mine and you wanted to support it, you can put the coins onto my video, and then I would be able to then cash those out later. So they're at the infancy stages, but basically all of my YouTube videos are on there at this point. So I have my own channel on Odyssey, and it's Odyssee. And once again, it's similar how MeWe is to Facebook, how you don't have the ads on there. You don't have any ads on Odyssey at this point. You don't have any, there's no throttling of content. There's nothing like that happening on there right now. I found a lot of cool channels that crossed over from YouTube, and I found a lot of other cool channels that I just really liked. There was one on there, I think it's called Good Eats or something like that. But the guy basically does like all these different breads and makes sourdough and all that stuff. And that's something that I like to do. I'm not very good at. And so I've been watching his videos and I'm like, I'm learning a lot. And I'm like, this content is buried for me on YouTube. The stuff I get suggested on YouTube is almost all like hype content. It's stuff that I'm not really interested in. No matter how many times I click not interested, I kind of end up back on that same stuff again. So, um, anyways, just thought I'd mention those two things to you. Um, I don't know if you guys have any questions for me, but if you have anything, I'll hang out for like one more minute, and then I'm gonna jump off here. So if you have any questions about anything that's going on in Kittanning, any of the projects we're working on, anything about me personally, go ahead and shoot. I'll stay around, like I said, for just one more minute, and maybe I'll show you MeWe and Odyssey here real quick. Now I wish I had done the whole setup because I could show you in detail, but oh, sorry, the Odyssey channel I was talking about is called Food Geek. Good Eats was that was a show on Food Network like forever ago. Alton Brown, that's like coming back to me now, blast from the past. Sorry, bear with me here. I'm realizing I must have some channels that I got unfollowed from somehow. Hmm. Okay. Anyway, let me show you these real quick. Show you what's going on. So this is Odyssey. This is what it looks like. So when you go to your home screen, very similar to YouTube in its structure. You can go on and check it all out. Like I said, there's a lot of mine's not super tailored yet because I'm still pretty new on there. But then the other one is MeWe. So if we go to like home screen, these are the different group chats. So I have a homesteading group chat, vegetable gardening group chat, and then you can see all the different things that are on here as far as your Facebook, style news feed. But it works out really well. So I'd suggest if you're looking for something new, or if you're just kind of tired of the monster tech companies and the power that they have over our lives, I think it's always good to have healthy competition. And you might go on there and you might find that, hey, you really enjoy them and you like it better than the normal. And the good news is that if you're followers of this channel, then you'll have you'll have this content still on both those platforms. So I created a greatest city in the world page on MeWe, and I also have, like I said, the full channel on Odyssey. So go on, check it out, see how you like it, and who knows, maybe a year from now or 5 years from now, that'll be the new big thing, and we can say, hey, we were there at the beginning. All right, guys, that's it for tonight. I'm going to jump off here. Really appreciate every single one of you, whether you're watching now or after the fact, and look forward to more content coming. There are just so many good things going to happen in 2021, and I can't wait to do it with all of you. All right. God bless you. Have a good night.